Children, let's continue with the chapter Poverty as a Challenge. Children, you can see from the table that there is substantial decline in poverty ratio in India from about 40% in 1993-94 to 37.2% in 2004-5. The proportion of people below poverty line further came down to about 21.9% in 2011-12. If the trend continues, people below poverty line may come down to less than 20% in the next few years. Although the percentage of people living under poverty declined in the earlier two decades, 1973 to 1993, not shown here, the number of poor declined from 400 and 407.1 million in 2004-5 to 269.3 million in 2011-12, with an average annual decline of 2.2 percentage points during 2004-5 to 2011-12. Children, the proportion of poor people below poverty line is not same for all social group and economic categories in India. Social groups which are most vulnerable to poverty are scheduled caste and scheduled tribes households. Among the economic group, the most vulnerable groups are the rural agricultural labor households and the urban casual labor households. The graph in the slide shows the percentage of poor people in various social and economic groups. Although the average of people below poverty line for all groups in India is less than 30, 48 of 100 people belonging to scheduled tribes in rural areas are not able to meet their basic needs. Similarly, 47% of casual workers in urban areas are below poverty line. About 50% of landless agricultural workers and 43% of scheduled castes are also poor. Children are landless casual wage labor households who belongs to a socially disadvantaged social group has the double disadvantage. Except for the scheduled tribe household, all the other three groups, that is scheduled caste, rural agricultural laborers, and urban casual labor households, have seen a decline in poverty in the 1990s. In the poor families, all suffer, but some suffer more than others. Women, elderly people, and female infants are systematically denied equal access to resources available to the family. Therefore, women, children, especially the girl child, and old people are poorest of the poor. Children, the story of Shivraman in your book is a typical example of this serious situation in poor families. Children, the proportion of poor people is not same in every state. Bihar and Odisha continue to be the two poorest states with poverty ratio of 33.7 and 37.6% respectively. Urban poverty is also high in Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh. States like Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, and West Bengal have seen significant decline in poverty. Children, Punjab and Haryana have traditionally succeeded in reducing poverty with the help of high agricultural growth rates. Kerala has focused more on human resource development. In West Bengal, land reform measures have helped in reducing poverty, whereas in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, public distribution system of food grains could have been responsible for the improvement. World Bank defined extreme economic poverty as living on less than $1.25 per day. The proportion of such people in developing countries has fallen from 43% in 1990 to 22% in 2008. Poverty declined substantially in China and Southeast Asian countries as a result of rapid economic growth and massive investments in human resource development. Number of poor in China have come down from 85% in 1981 to 14% in 2008 to 6% in 2011. In the countries of South Asia like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, the decline has not been as rapid. In sub Saharan Africa, poverty is in fact rose from 51% in 1981 to 47% in 2008. In the Latin America, the ratio of a poverty remained the same. It has declined from 11% in 1981 to 6.4% in 2008. Poverty has also resurfaced in some of the former socialist countries like Russia. The proportion of people living under poverty is different in different countries as defined by the International Poverty Line, means population below $1 a day. The Millennium Development Goal of United Nations aimed at reducing the proportion of people living on less than $1 a day to half the 1990 level by 2015.